I'm Mollie Northridge. I work for Dublin City Council. I'm a carpenter and joiner. I studied carpentry and joinery in Tala ETB Training Centre and MTU. I wasn't a very academic person, so I left school at the age of 16 and got into a course for apprenticeships. I knew I was good with my hands. When I was a kid, I did knitting or crocheting and stuff like that with my mum. When we were doing the course, it was just me and my sister and then a class full of boys. We made jewellery boxes. Like, this was really cool, and we were able to burn images into the wood and stuff like that, and it just really sparked my interest. So I decided to go into carpentry. I'm delighted I got into it. I can say I'm 22 and I'm qualified and I have a career ahead of me. So I'm very happy with myself. If you're starting an apprenticeship, you obviously look for an employer, and my employer was Dublin City Council. The job can help you sign up with Solace. From there, you start your phase 1 training, which is 6 months on the job, and then you just have to wait for your call to get to phase 2, phase 4 and phase 6. You're always with the job. The job will pay you when you're working for the job, and when you're in college, the college will pay you. The way my apprenticeship worked, I did phase 1, 3, 5 and 7 on the job, and then 2, 4 and 6 was in colleges. I think for phase 1, 3 and 5 I was in the workshop for the most part, so I was actually making doors and windows and stuff like that, and every now and then I got the chance to go out and fit them in the actual houses. I also got a chance to work in the civic offices in town, so I actually got to work with the public in all the hostels and the homeless area as well. For phase 4 and phase 6 I was in MTU, and we obviously had our practical classes, and we did roofing, we did all the joints for doors and stuff like that and windows, and basically you'll just learn all your basics for your exams. It took 4 years to complete. Every on the phase job is at least 6 months. For phase 2 we had to do ETB Training Centre for 6 months, and then when I was in MTU it was 10 weeks and 11 weeks both times. I had no knowledge going into college, but they teach you everything. They even teach you just the correct way to hold a saw. They'll teach you how to build roofs from start to finish. They'll teach you every basic knowledge that you need to know. I work in the housing maintenance department for Dublin City Council. I will start at 7:45 every morning in the depot. We find out what jobs are doing that day, and we work until about 5 o'clock every day. I get to have 21 days of annual leave every year. You're off every weekend unless overtime comes in. I work with the public almost every day. If anyone has a broken kitchen, broken doors, anything that needs to be fixed in their home, I'll go in and fix it. Or I can be sent into empty apartments and get them ready for new tenants to go into. You need to be able to work in a team, because I can work with a carpenter one day and then plumbers another day, and you need to be able to have the communication to work together. When you're working in the job, it can be high pressure, so it's good to be able to work under pressure and show that you can work under pressure, and you can be able to multitask. You can go from one job to an emergency job and then go back to that job and not be too pressured in that circumstance. There's a lot of career options when you go into this industry. You can stay on your tools, or you can go and get into the health and safety side of things and become a health and safety officer. You can go up in the ranks and go be a foreman or an AMO of the depots, or you could go into the education side and become a lecturer yourself and teach the apprentices in the future. For anyone currently studying carpentry or any other apprenticeship, I'd just say keep your head down and get your studies done and get through all the phases. I know it can be stressful, because I know I was getting stressed being when am I going to get called to phase 4 and when am I going to be able to qualify? Don't stress yourself out too much about the exams. Just do your study, keep your head down, and you'll get through it and you'll qualify, and you'll be set up for life with your career. If you're in secondary school and you find that you're less academic and you're more like a DIY person, or you're just better working with your hands, 1000% go look into the construction industry, because it'll work out so well for you. And you shouldn't think that just because you're a girl, you're not capable of doing it. You are more than capable. All the lads in my job are very nice and they're very supportive. The reaction of the public when you walk into their house and they're like, a woman? Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, oh, thank you. It's just, everyone's so lovely. And I know my boss, he is doing his best to get as many women in as possible. I was the first female he employed as a carpenter.